Manning, he wants it all. Again, DeAndre.
What's up with Arch Manning? This is Jack Liebesman with Legend House Sports. I don't claim to have all the answers. I can only comment on Arch's throwing mechanics. I believe they play a role in why it does not seem to be living up to expectations at Texas. Let's take a look at his balance and posture, along with his stride and momentum. His stance is narrower than I prefer, which results in a long stride and a slow foot strike. Elite Hall of Famers get their foot down in 0.2 seconds or less. Arch clearly takes longer. A slow foot strike can disrupt sequencing and cause premature shoulder rotation. On the positive side, he is on balance and his head is over his center of gravity when he initiates the throw. He separates his hands where he should, at the midpoint, but then you see him drop the ball low and push it back. And as you will notice, his body is going forward while the ball is going backward. This is what Tom House liked to call running from the ball. This wasted movement causes a long arm path, a slower release, hurts ball security, and most of all disrupts his sequencing. A long arm path ultimately leads to the shoulders rotating prematurely. In this video, his front shoulder is opening early and he spins off from his target rather than tracking to it. Opening his shoulders early decreases his hip-shoulder separation, which then decreases his velocity and spin rate. Increasing velocity is more effectively accomplished by increasing hip-shoulder separation, not by reaching back. And because he over-rotates, his release point is over his lead foot instead of being 8 to 12 inches in front. Arch also has what we call a passive front side. He keeps his front arm too close to his body. This causes him to have an imbalance and not be what we call opposite and equal. His passive front side shifts his weight toward the back of his body and moves his axis of rotation further back. He should have the same arm angle with his front arm as he does his throwing arm. He does swivel and stabilize, and he keeps his front arm within the frame of his body. Utilizing his front arm correctly would improve his velocity and direction. When you watch Tom Brady and the quarterbacks in his own family, they all have a short arm path. There is minimal wasted movement. The ball doesn't go down, they are opposite and equal, and they don't rotate their shoulders prematurely. So how did Arch end up throwing so differently than his uncles and grandfather? Was he taught this long wagon wheel arm path by someone who thought that Dak drill had something to do with arm path? Tom House is the one who taught Dak Prescott the drill that is commonly referred to as the Dak drill. The purpose of the drill is for increased hip-shoulder separation, or what we call disassociation. Some have misinterpreted this drill to train your arm path. It is not. Had the other three legendary quarterbacks in his family not tried to influence him? Was there no one at the Manning Passing Academy drawing attention to mechanics? Or were they too intimidated by the Manning family to call this out? Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he will not be successful. He has a ton of natural talent, and he seems like a hard worker. And there have been Hall of Famers who have had equally flawed mechanics. But given who he has been surrounded by and how they threw, it is odd that he is so mechanically different. If I had the opportunity to work with him, I would put him through drills that would quicken his foot strike and shorten his release. These drills would transition him to a shorter arm path with a direct transfer to his arm slot. I would also put him through drills that would teach him to generate additional power through increased hip-shoulder separation rather than relying on his arm and head. These drills would shift his axis of rotation, quicken his weight transfer, and translate more energy up the kinetic chain. And many of these drills would deal with patterning his nervous system for speed and training his muscular system for strength. They would add significant velocity while improving his accuracy. And like every athlete I work with, I would also focus on the bigger picture, improving his functional strength and increasing his durability by minimizing the disparity between his accelerators and decelerators, helping him build a resilient, adaptable body. It's not just about excelling in the next game, it's about creating the foundation for a long, successful career. Arch, if you are listening and would like to talk, please feel free to reach out to me directly. We can keep it confidential. Whether you are a quarterback, an NFL coach, or in the front office, feel free to reach out if I can be of service. I can work with you no matter where you are located. I hope you enjoyed today's quarterback breakdown, and I hope you stay tuned for more on how to train like a legend.